During the worst of the pandemic, it's estimated that 70% of full time workers were working from home. Now, 92% of surveyed employees still expect to work from home at least one or more days a week. Here are a few benefits to working remote: lower costs for employees and employers, better employee work life balance, higher morale, the same or improved productivity, and more flexibility in serving clients. But the transition to the digital workspace has also brought challenges, including vulnerable networks and endpoints, employees feeling disconnected, communication problems, difficulty tracking productivity and accountability, and increased risk of data breaches. Did you know that 20% of organizations experienced a breach during the pandemic? Overcoming the challenges and reaping the benefits takes time and effort. It also often takes the help of a trained IT professional so that you can avoid costly mistakes. I'm going to tell you about the 5 common issues that remote users complain about. First, keep file structure flat. Don't go any more than 2 to 3 folders deep. Create a consistent hierarchy and naming structure. Don't create a file for fewer than 10 documents. Archive and delete older files monthly to reduce the clutter. Our second common issue is leaving remote workers out of the conversation. Many companies haven't overcome in-person versus remote communication challenges. In fact, nearly 60% of remote workers say they miss out on important information. This is because colleagues first communicated it in person. Efficiency suffers when in-office workers make decisions without regard for remote colleagues. Managers and bosses must lead the way in changing this culture. While old habits do take a while to change, mindset can transition to be more inclusive of the hybrid world. The next problem we want to talk about is not addressing unauthorized cloud app use. Unauthorized cloud app use, also known as shadow IT, was already a problem before the pandemic. That problem escalated once people began working from home. More than half employees used at least one unauthorized app in their workflow. When this happens, organizations suffer in many ways. Some of the risks of shadow IT include data leakage from non-secured apps, data privacy and compliance violations, redundancies in app use that can increase costs, unprotected company data due to lack of visibility, and lastly, if an employee leaves, no one can access the data in that unauthorized app. Remote workers aren't always working from home, connected to their home Wi-Fi. They may also be working from airports, hotels, family members' home, or local coffee shops. Companies that don't properly protect company data used by remote employees can be at a risk of security breach. Public networks are notorious for enabling the man-in-the-middle attacks. This is where a hacker connects to the same public network, then using software can access data transmissions from others on that same network. It's advisable to use a business-class VPN for all remote work locations. The employee enables an app on their device and connects securely to the servers. The last common problem are the use of communication tools that frustrate everyone. As many as 85% of remote workers say they've had 1 to 2 meetings interrupted by technology. It wouldn't be a virtual meeting without someone having a technical issue. Effective cloud-based video calls, audio calls, and chats depend on the right technology. Don't just rush in and use just any communication tools. Take your time and test them out. Get help optimizing settings to improve your virtual meetings. And make sure your remote team has tools to foster smooth communications. This includes headsets, VoIP desk phones, webcams, etc. When it comes to working remote, you don't have to go it alone. Give us a call and learn more. Thank you for joining us for this week's Tech. I hope that you got great value from this week's content. Remember to like and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel.